this one to me. I don't know if you can. I don't know if I can, Shasky. But I'm just going to read off the home records. I just had David Taylor over at NBC Sports send me this. The home records are to Steve Kerr since he's been head coach. First year, 39-2. Second year, 39-2. Third year, 36-5. Fourth year, 29-12. Fifth year, 30-11. Then you get the season with a 15-win season where they go 8-26 at home. The next year, they bounce back. They go 25-11. Championship season, they go 31-10. Last season, despite everything happening, they go 33-8 at home. Right now, they're 17-16. And if you take away that 2019 season in which they won 15 games, 2019 and 2020, it's by far and away the worst home record they're going to ever have under Steve Kerr. It's just amazing to me. Like, their home court dominance is what set them apart. That is just one game above 500. So 33 games into their home schedule.
I'm just curious. Are you inferring that there's like a crowd problem?
No, I don't know what the hell the problem is. I'm just trying to figure out what the problem is.
Well, then let me get to the
I understand Draymond's been suspended.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Steph Curry missed a couple games, but they've blown leads at home. They blow leads at home.
But you have an inconsistency of a closing lineup. Like, when I think about all of those other previous incarnations, they kind of knew who they were closing with for the most part. 2022, that was a little more up in the air. Like this year, how many different closing combinations have they had?
So many.
All right, and now when you factor in that you got a young player in Podziemski and Kuminga in a lot of those closing lineup situations, and then you have veterans in and out of the lineup, and quite frankly, you have veterans that are losing a little. Like, not all of their game, but they're losing fractions of their game. No, I'm not surprised. Because this isn't a great team right now.
Right. But 17-16 at home, just think about that. The home, like last year, that was a broken basketball team. They were 33-8 at home. 33-8. Despite everything going on, they couldn't win on the road. Now they're winning on the road. They have a very good road record when you consider the NBA being over 500 on the road. That's a good thing. They put so much importance on winning away from home, but just to be 17-16 at Chase Center, and they've gotten blown out a couple times by the Raptors and the Pelicans. Remember that? Back-to-back when they allowed over 70 points in a half. I mean, I'm looking at these homestands here like they had the 1-6 homestand early in the season when they salvaged one against the Rockets at the end of the homestand.
Yeah, they blew a bunch of fourth-quarter games.
1-5. Bunch of fourth-quarter games.
But the other part
at home.
Last year, what was their road record last year?
Well, they 11-30.
Okay. So these things have kind of, not that they flipped, but like they're coming back toward the means, I guess. I don't think it's some sweeping indication on the crowd, the arena,
no,
the
and
team.
I'm not trying to imply. I'm not implying that whatsoever.
Because I can see where people would say that.
The crowd has nothing to do with it. People are getting to their seats on time.
Look,
they've got a tough home loss to Miami. They lost to Dallas at home. They survive against Orlando, but then they lose in Denver on the bank shot. 25-4 run by the Denver Nuggets to steal a game at Chase. And 17-16 at home. Wow, and those are the games last night that they somehow, some way would always find a way to win at home.
So what do you think they should be like 22-8 or whatever?
I mean, 33 games in, right? At home?
Mm-hmm.
23-10?
Okay, so they're a little off. I mean,
they're a little off. They're only one game over 500 at home.
Yeah, but they're only a couple games over 500 in general.
But at least, there's teams that win at home. The Warriors have won at home under Steve Kerr. Again, I'll read the records to you. 39-2. And I get the players have changed and who you had on the team. The Hall of Famers are a lot younger, but 39. But young players usually play better at home, right? Young players usually they excel at home.
Yeah, off the bench, but you're closing with a lot of those young players. I don't know. To me, it's probably more an indication of where they're at as an organization and some randomness to it too. A couple games go the other direction. We're looking at a 20-win, home record. So I don't know. I don't make much of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just surprising to me. 17-16 at home, and I'm at the arena for all the home games there. For most of the home games, it just blows me away that they've struggled so much at home. With a young team, usually young players play better in front of their home gym and their home fans. Just 17-16 at Chase Center, man. And that may come, like I was banking on, the Warriors usually under Steve Kerr, give me 29-12, 28-13. They're struggling to be 500 at home. That's just, it kind of just scratching my head a little bit.
Really quick, guys, I'm curious if there's any like home losses that you guys recall that kind of jump out.
Denver.
Like the Denver loss. Yeah, because I just went through the schedule. There were
Chet.
I have 7 losses that were by 5 points or less at home during that time.
Denver, obviously.
OKC.
Minnesota.
Yes.
The Gobert game.
Yes.
OKC when you foul Chet. Chet hits the 3 before overtime. So that's 3.
When you could have fouled him, but you didn't. And anyway, keep going.
The Clippers.
Yeah.
Before the break, Clippers.
I forgot
the double OT game against the Lakers.
That's
double
5.
OT.
That's 5.
One of the best games of the year.
Yeah, that's 5.
Should have done game show music with this.
Let's see. Miami just laid a clunker. That was just that was a dud. Let's see here. That's 5 games. There's another game.
Want me to give them to you?
Sacramento, 134-133. Remember that one?
Yes.
That's 6. So they're lighting the beam away from the go-to-1 center. You mentioned the double overtime game. I got 6 losses at home that they should have won.
So let's say
the opening night against the Suns, they lost 108-104.
That was a good game.
That was a good game, and you lose it. And then last night,
that was a good game.
That's 8 games at home that you've blown. I guess it's appropriate because they are a 500 team, so we shouldn't be surprised. But this is by far and away, if you take away that 2019-20 season, in which it was lost, and Steph Curry played 5 games, and Klay Thompson doesn't play, and Draymond's beat up in that game, and Draymond's saying that, hey, we weren't winning, so I wasn't really into it. So like, this is by far and away their worst home record under Steve Kerr.
Yeah, but couldn't I also make the argument? It feels like, God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Is this the worst fourth quarter, just totality of a year from Steph Curry in a decade?
Well, he's going to win the clutch player of the year.
No, he's had great moments, but he's also had really, really, really bad fourth quarters.
But he's
by his standards.
But he's the odds-on favorite to win the clutch player of the year in the NBA.
Can't both be true? Like, I mean,
I don't know if he can be.
In my mind, I could think of 3 or 4 specific spots where he just made horrible turnovers, bad shot selection.
Sacramento, Denver.
The cross-court pass was so bad.
Well, Denver, Sacramento, those are 2 games right away. But he's going to win the clutch player of the year, so it's kind of hard for me to get on Stephen Curry in the fourth quarter.
Clutch games.
They have been in a million clutch games, and he's come through in the clutch a lot of times.
I see what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, I don't think when I look at Steph's, like, it used to be like a formality. Steph was going to close teams out with 3 minutes to go, and the last couple of minutes almost wouldn't matter. The team isn't as good. They're a little older, and he's made mistakes. I'm not blaming it all on Steph. I'm just saying that, like, when your top dog isn't at his height of heights, and he doesn't play buttoned up,
but see,
everything else falls in.
But see, I would have thought he would be the odds-on favorite to win the NBA Clutch Player of the Year award. Because he has had dynamic fourth quarters, and he's the reason why you have stayed in that fourth quarter. You stayed in basketball games because of Stephen Curry. You're going to make some mistakes, and he's had some bad turnovers. There's no doubt about it. But he's the reason why you're in a lot of these games. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So he's doing that.
But I look at it as like a closer who gets 50 saves and also blew 15. It might lead the league in blown saves.
I don't know if he's.
I'm not saying he's like that, but you do have these oddness, and when you overutilize somebody for out of a totality of a year, you're going to get good and bad, a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean,
now they're calling it an empty calories award.
Well, yeah, that's the Sacramento fans. Phoenix is not being good at crunch time as well. They have a better record, but their fourth quarters have been worse than the Golden State Warriors. KD's had some awful fourth quarters.